Bing, 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 bing. Loading, 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 loading. How long will it load? How long will it load? Keep spinning. I'm not supposed to do anything here. I am not supposed to jump from these pipes. So far, these pipes mean absolutely nothing. And it took me forever to figure that out. Because I was forced to go into this screen. And this screen was confusing. Even though it's really cute, the boat in the background. I like the detail, different layers of detail. And after I went to this screen, I always go back. Because I'm thinking, what am I supposed to do here? Why would it span out like this? But I'm not supposed to do anything here. After I zoom out of the screen, I'm supposed to go left. That's it. That's how you continue. Sometimes it's right in the classic detective curse, right under your nose, though your eyes can't see it. Okay, this thing. Oh, okay. So the island that I'm on, that I keep seeing a bird's eye view, is powered maybe by this crystal, right? And so the crystal's now being attacked by this black fog, and so I guess I'm trying to figure that out. And I look, and all this little image in the background is what helped me realize that. And so it's really interesting to communicate environmentally. Well, this really isn't really communicating by the environment, because who the hell is going to draw this picture and place it down here if they're really part of this environment? This is the developers communicating to me with a picture that they put into the environment, but the environment is not communicating this to me. The developers are, with something artificial. This is very artificial. This is not natural. This would not naturally be there. So there is definitely still a level of communication via the environment for these types of games that is not being met 100%. So the game finally told me what all these pillars are for. It's predicted. These things will, I get a transport to these pillars, but obviously I guess I can't play this song unless I'm in the open, I guess, because the bird has to sweep down. Oh, I have to be near one of those things, I guess, near one of the checkpoints, and then I can fly. Okay, now I can move semi-freely through this game. Interesting. Hey, I think that. Look at them. Look at them. I guess they'll swing one up here. So this Toki Tori cannot fly by himself. He's like a weird penguin type creature. That's cool though. I can finally explore things a bit more. This game is looking up. This game's looking up. I'm just predicting. I'm predicting that they're going to do the whole Zelda thing, where I gain new abilities, which allow me to access. For example, I can access up here easier. Maybe I can shrink or something. You know, and then have this guy carry me up. So, like a Zelda thing where I gain new abilities, which allow me to access different parts of the game. Gotta admit, this is a pretty cool puzzle. I gotta get up here on the left, right? And then when I go further left, there's a guy with one of those skull mask dudes that you need to put light next to so they go away so you can get past them. So I need to get up there, and I need to get bring some type of light up there, right? This is how you do it. Check it out. To get up there, you get this bird, follow you. He grabs this thing. That guy there. Okay, find him. Look at him. Come on. Get him. Okay, then you gotta smack him before he gets all too high, because you gotta use this guy on the frog. Okay. Now you gotta get the fireflies, so you get the light. Now you can't have them in here, so you gotta bounce. They go up. like that. Then you do this. This gets you up there. Then you get the fireflies so they get this guy. See, that was pretty interesting. It's an interesting solution, I'd have to say. This is a fun puzzle too. It took me a while to figure it out. Can't let this thing slam down too quick. See, what I had to do was this frog right here will blow a bubble and shoot me over here, and this frog will blow a bubble, and I needed to catch. First, I needed to get up here and then drop into this frog's bubble, so I could float up into this area up here. But I was having a problem because this frog was shooting the bubble too early, as you can see right here. See, it's not going to work. So what you have to do, and again, it's kind of weird, but the game does hold your hand, because this suspicious little piece of grass right here, this is the exact position this little lobster thing has to be in. So you get him here, and then it'll work. So in the sense, the game did kind of hold my hand, you know, and yeah, it's kind of, it advertises itself as not being that type of game, but right there, again, holding my hand, showing me where I'm supposed to put this thing. You could call it a clue, but at what point are your clues turning into a hand holding, you know? So I guess you could know that another definition. Okay, this is really good. I'm closing in on something. You could say cryptic. Okay, so my definition of cryptic so far has been, okay, it's becoming really much more complex. I like it. At what point are the clues taking the game from the old school hardcore to the new school easy or softcore? You know, at what point are the clues so much that they're actually holding the hand of the person playing, and you've actually stopped? You're diminishing the challenge. You have like 100% challenge. You add clues, it brings it down. You know, when is the challenge? Yeah. I'm lost there, but that's something interesting to think about. Is there like a certain mental capacity of the customer, of the gamer you're trying to make the game for, and so you have to ensure that the challenge is at their level? And so when you're making the game, is that part of the process of deciding who you're making the game for? Obviously, if you're making the game for a kid, you're going to have lots of clues. You're going to basically hold the kid's hand. Should you? Is that the key right there? To ensure that someone has to use inductive reasoning to solve, to find meaning in its environment. I'm losing it. I slept on it, and I finally have, in more manageable terms, understood the connection I made yesterday and tried to communicate horribly with gibberish and awkward pausing. Imagine a world that exists between the extremes of impossible and tutorial. A task that's impossible and the task that is so easy it's a tutorial. Imagine a world that exists in between these two, so a spectrum in between these two. That is the world of games. And this world, as you go from one spectrum to the other, various things change. And these are the things that I'm realizing. As you go towards the impossible, the world of games becomes much more cryptic. What this means is the amount of instruction, the amount of clues you have to understand what you need to do becomes less and less and less until you have no idea, until you're giving nothing, and it's impossible. And then as you move more towards the tutorial part, in the world of games, it becomes more hand-holding. So you have so many clues, so many instructions that you don't even have to do anything. You just follow the clues and the instructions. Okay? The sweet spot is right in the middle, where that is called a challenging game. That is where the level of instruction is just right, where you're not given everything, but you have a working idea what you're supposed to do, and you do it, and it's fun. That is called a challenging game, and you can play with this world with many different definitions, many different words. For example, if you were to use reward, then it changes. If you use reward, the world of rewards, then when you go to the impossible spectrum, reward becomes defined as it does not matter how much effort you put into trying to understand it, you cannot receive an award. But then it gradually goes towards the world of tutorial, where there is no reward because you had to put no effort in whatsoever to attain the goal. And so when you think of rewards, it's actually better to have the reward more towards the impossible spectrum. Not quite impossible, but the more difficult something is, the more rewarding of a feeling it is you have. So putting games in this world, in this spectrum between impossible and tutorial, allows you to think in much more easier terms what is a game. And that's what I discovered after sleeping and thinking about this realization I had. This game, as I exposed before, this game told me where to place that. It told me how to solve a puzzle, as I demonstrated earlier. And so, because of this small amount of hand-holding, my reward was less gratifying. But it wasn't an explicit clue, so the clue was still pretty obscure. And so there was a reward because I had to pay attention to my environment. That